From owners of supermarket chains to founders of the most prestigious international luxury firms, the ranking of the 10 richest families in the world who have assets of billions and millions of dollars was released. For this purpose, we bring you the richest families in the world. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. If you are new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get more videos like this. Let's get started without further ado. Despite the losses that occurred due to the COVID-19 pandemic, these people increased their wealth on a large scale. Walton family. At $238.2 billion, the Waltons were the richest family in 2021, according to a report by Bloomberg, thanks to their massive stake in Walmart, the world's largest company by revenue. They are even ahead of the two great billionaires of our era, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. The US hypermarket giant, headquartered in Bentonville, Arkansas, is the world's largest retailer by revenue, with sales of $559 billion from its more than 10,500 stores in 24 countries. The family, which spans 3 generations, owns 48% of the company. In addition, it is the largest company in terms of the number of employees, with 2,300,000. Jim Walton is currently the member of the family with the highest wealth, ranking 17th among the richest in the world, according to the Bloomberg Index. Mars family. Mars is a major producer of food products for both humans and animals, including Royal Canin, Eukanuba, Whiskas, Chappie, and Pedigree. Popular products include M&M, Milky Way, Mars, and Snickers. Amazingly, almost half of the company, $39.2 billion in revenue, comes from pet products. In 2021, the family's wealth was $141.9 billion, over $100 billion less than the Waltons. At the age of 19, Frank Mars began selling molasses candies. 9 years later, in 1911, he established the Mars Company in McLean, Virginia. 5-generation business in which Jacqueline Mars, denies Frank Mars, is one of the world's richest women, with an estimated current net worth of $50.7 billion, the same amount as her brother John Mars. Koch family. Koch is a conglomerate of U.S. companies with numerous manufacturing, trading, and investment subsidiaries owned by the Koch brothers. Companies like Invista, Georgia Pacific, Flint Hill Resources, Koch Pipeline, Koch Fertilizer, Koch Minerals, and Matador Cattle Company are owned by the Koch family. In 2021, the third-generation Koch family fortune reached $124.4 billion. Brothers Frederick, Charles, David, and William inherited the oil company from their father, who founded it in 1940. However, a brotherly dispute over the control of Koch industry in the early 1980s led to Frederick and William leaving the business family, while Charles and David followed. According to the Bloomberg Wealth Index, both Charles Koch and Julia Koch have a net worth of $60.4 billion. Hermes family. Hermes is a French luxury design house specializing in leather goods, lifestyle accessories, jewelry, perfumery, and house furnishings. The house was started in 1837 by Thierry Hermes. The Hermes Company, a French luxury fashion and accessory firm best known for its incredibly expensive Birkin bags, is owned by the 6 generations of the Hermes family. At first, Thierry solely produced leather products for affluent people. Saddlery was a new offering for Hermes when his son Charles Emile took over the business. The Dumas entered the scene as Charles kept introducing French goods to the business. Charles decided to instruct his son-in-law Francis Puet, René Guérot, and Robert Dumas. Robert introduced Hermes, who would later take over the business, to accessories like scarves and belts. When he retired in 2005, he handed the company over to his cousin Alex Dumas. The family accumulates a fortune of $53.1 million. The data shows that the third quarter of 2021, Hermes built $2,704 million, 31.5% more compared to the same period of the previous year, while in the first 9 months, it posted revenue of $7.543 million, 54% more in the same period of 2020. Likewise, as is known, family wealth amounts to $111.6 billion. Al-Saud family. The royal family, with a monarchical history dating back nearly a century and after which Saudi Arabia is named. can attribute its $100 billion fortune to the nation's oil reserves. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the son of Saudi Arabia's seventh monarch, King Salman, personally controls assets worth more than $1 billion. Links to Saudi Aramco, the world's most profitable company and a giant in the oil industry, ensure that the Saudi royal family continues to accumulate wealth. It's hard to gauge precisely, in part because the family has up to 15,000 extended members, many of whom have founded businesses, government contracts, and more, making their family wealth much greater. Ambani family. The Ambani family is known for being the owners of Reliance Industries, a conglomerate of companies based in Bombay, India, which is considered the largest oil refining complex in the world. Dhirubhai Ambani, the father of Mukesh and Anil, began building Reliance Industries in 1950s. When Dhirubhai died in 2002 without a will, his widow brokered an agreement between his sons over control of the family fortune. Mukesh is now at the helm of the Mumbai-based conglomerate and lives in a 27-story mansion that has been called the most expensive private residence in the world. The Ambani fortune reaches $93.7 billion, while that of Mukesh Ambani, the 11th richest person in the world and the first in Asia ahead of Gautam Adani, has a heritage of $90.2 billion. Reliance Industries' revenue for the third quarter of 2021 was $26.143 million compared to $17.193 million the prior year. Wertheimer family. The Wertheimers own the legendary Chanel, one of the most prestigious French luxury houses in the world, known among other things for giving birth to their famous little black dress and Chanel No. 5 perfume. The French Alain brothers and Gerard Wertheimer are now co-owners of the company their grandfather founded with designer Gabrielle Coco Chanel. The third generation of the Wertheimers is worth $61.8 billion, and both brothers rank 47th and 48th on Bloomberg's billionaires list, with net worths of $29.8 billion each. Johnson family. Fidelity Investments, or Fidelity Management and Research, is an American company specializing in asset management and pension funds. Directed by Edward C. Johnson III and his daughter Abigail Johnson, it is headquartered in Boston, United States. With 3 generations behind them, the Johnson family is worth $61.2 billion. In position 77 of the Great Fortunes is Abigail Johnson with $21.4 billion. Boehringer von Bombach family. This is one of the 2 richest family in the world that comes from Germany. Boehringer Ingelheim is the name of the German pharmaceutical firm that Albert Boehringer started in 1885. Even after 130 years, the business is still thriving. The business is analyzing more than 1 million compounds in the era of the coronavirus to find promising molecules and combats the virus. He has a $45.7 billion net worth. Albrecht family. The net worth of $41 billion belongs to the brother Theo and Carl, who took over their parents' grocery store after serving in World War II. Over time, the two turned the store at Aldi into a nationwide German discount supermarket chain. However, these brothers separated in 1960 and formed their own companies, Aldi Nord and Aldi Süd. In 1979, Theo's side of the family even bought Trader Joe's. His sons Theo Jr. and Berthold divided Aldi Nord between them. Carl's children, Carl Albrecht Jr. and Beat Heiser, on the other hand, inherited his father's wealth after his death in 2014. The Cox family. James M. Cox. James started as a trainee for the Middletown Weekly Signal. He later got a job as an assistant to Paul Sork in Washington, D.C., and with his help, he bought the Dayton Evening News. Once he took over, he turned it into an evening newspaper house that focused on local and international news. He campaigned for Congress as a Democrat in 1908, but in 1920, he focused on rebuilding Cox Enterprises. James Cox Jr., his daughter, took over as president of Cox Enterprises and Cox Broadcasting Corporations after her father passed away. In Pennsylvania, Cox Jr. started buying up smaller cable firms in the early 1960s. Barbara Cox and Ann Cox took control after Cox Jr. passed away in 1974. The Cox empire is currently led by Jim Kennedy, James Cox's grandson, and Ann Cox, who passed away in 2020, has now been estimated to be worth $36.9 billion. The Ferrero family. The Ferrero family owned a pastry shop in Italy in the 1940s, before they became a factory known as the Ferrero Group. In the 50s, the family decided to start producing sweets for the international market, for which they had offices in Austria, Belgium, and the Netherlands. In 2015, the family made 2 acquisitions. First, it acquired Olten, which trades hazelnuts in Turkey. Subsequently, it acquired Thorntons, a UK chocolate confectionery company. They currently have a fortune of $36.2 billion. Billionaire Michele Ferrero, who became the richest man in Italy with a confectionery empire built on his popular Nutella spread, died aged 89 on February 15, 2015. The Thomson family. It all started in 1934 when Roy Thomson bought a newspaper in Ontario, Canada. Soon after, he bought more newspapers and radio stations. In the 1950s, he owned 19 newspapers and was president of the Canadian Newspaper Publishers Association. Still, he continued to expand his media empire by building more newspapers and television stations. By the 1970s, he had established his own company. The Thomson Corporations had more than 200 newspapers in Canada. Before his death in 1976, he named his grandson David and his son's Kenneth eventual successor, and David's son as Kenneth's successor. When David became president of the Thomson Corporations, he acquired Reuters. In addition, the family has investments in a company called Woodbridge and accumulates a fortune of $34.8 billion. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for spending some time with us. If you found this video interesting, let us know what you think in the comment box. Make sure to hit the like button and the notification bell and subscribe to our channel to get access to more interesting videos from us. While you are here, kindly click on one of the 2 other videos you see on your screen. See you there!